All right, so we're doing another recap here for today. It is Wednesday, and today, honestly, compared to yesterday, really was bad. And the reason why it was bad wasn't because there was no stocks moving, it was just the options for the stocks were really bad. And so, when we're looking for a stock criteria on a daily basis, we kind of have a system of processing it through so we choose the right stocks to trade. And so, choosing the right stocks to trade is really important, and here's why. If you're looking to trade a stock and it doesn't look good, but you don't know that, you're going to trade it. And so the first stock we had today at 7 a.m. was KTTA. And you can just see right here how it can just curl up and then drop back down and then curl up and drop back down. And how do we decipher a stock that is, really choppy, rejects hard, and is not worth trading? And so there's one of two ways we can look at this. One, the price, two, the float, and three, the levels. And the levels, yesterday we talked about the line in the sand, and the line in the sand is kind of like a pivot level where we want to see a stock break over, hold, and continue up going higher. And so, actually, let me close this out. And so today we had KTTA. And if we can look here on the 5 minute chart, you can see how it did a nice little curl up here with breaking news. It's a therapeutics company that receives positive SRC recommendation for its ongoing phase 1 clinical trial. And so if we go to the 10-second chart here, you can see how this stock was a pretty fast mover. But when I first pulled it up, I saw this 10-second chart. I saw that it had a little bit bigger spreads, and I didn't like this candle. This candle is a red candle. At the time, I kind of like to see a couple big green candles. And so I was kind of waiting to see here. And then I saw this little dip here. And then it slowly curled back up, came back down, and then popped all the way up to 450 here. And then what I realized was that the 200 EMA on the daily level, if we pull up the daily chart here, I know that you can't really see it on that side. The 200 level right here is at 450. So it didn't really have a lot of room to go, and I didn't think it was going to be a good stock to trade because it's going to hit this resistance right here at 450, and it's not going to be able to break above it. And so looking at the daily levels here is really important. It's kind of like that line in the sand. Let's say the stock was able to break and then hold over 50 and then continue going higher, then that would have looked really nice. But the problem is that it wasn't able to break. It already rejected and then came back lower and wasn't able to really break over a VWAP all day today until around the market open, where it was able to break over, and then it kind of just did these nasty flushes. So definitely not the type of stock you want to be in and trade. Unfortunately, that's the really only the good stock that I saw today. We had a couple more movers, including we had ACRV, which was a stock that popped up. I'm just going to show you quickly here on the 10-second chart. It was, I believe, easy to borrow, and it was really high float. The float was 12 million shares. So it was a higher float for sure. Definitely not the highest that we've traded before, but because it was easy borrow, that means there's a lot of sellers. There can be a lot of sellers, and it's one of those things where it just will reject on you, and this thing did, $2 a share. So if you were in that, you might have gotten smoked unless you got out pretty quickly, but the slippage on that would not have been nice at all. Next, we had a CPIX pop, and CPIX was a stock that we went over yesterday as well. And CPIX did two rejections yesterday. So if we look here on the 5 minute, we had pre-market two rejections. It curled up later in the evening, and so we were looking at this for a daily breakout setup over 4, right? And if you were able to jump on that really fast, that's really good. I was looking at it for a trade up in this area here for 4 to 420. I didn't feel confident in it. And the reason why I didn't was because we had a couple rejections yesterday. And normally when a stock rejects, I don't really like to trade it ever again. I don't really want to touch it unless it's one of those stocks that holds up, proves itself, and continue going higher. So proving itself off a support is really important when you're trading. And CPIX is just one of those stocks where I don't trust. And you can see how this rejection right here at around 450 going up to 5, gave a solid rejection, tried to get back over VWAP, couldn't do it, and rejected even further. And we're kind of having the same problem at market open here, where it's not able to break a level. It holds the level, comes all the way back down, retest it, come all the way back up. And so it's just really choppy price action. And I'm just not really feeling confident in any of the stocks today. So today, for me at least, was a no trade day. We also had this um, NVVE stock that did a nice little pop and drop as well. This had no news, unfortunately. I had a current report pursuant of Section 13, so it's a Form 8K. But nothing really worth trading in my eyes today, especially when I seen something like KTTA that had resistance up over the 450 level, and it was just one of those things where you can't trust a stock unless it doesn't hold. So this one didn't held today, but we're looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow we get some more price action. It is a Thursday going on to the weekend, so hopefully we get something nice. We have no real action today. We have a petty mover here, OGEN, but once again, this pops and drops very heavy too. So it's not one of the setups that I like to trade. It's too cheap for me. The kind of setup that I like to trade would be, over $3, under 20 million share float, good amount of volume coming in. You can see that it has a good daily level. The resistance for the 200 EMA isn't too far away, that is far away. So that has a lot of room for us to move. If it's a reverse split, that's even better. If it has news, that's even better. But we just didn't get any of those today. Those aren't the type of setups that I normally do the best on. And so I kind of stayed away today, and I'm going to leave some of my trades for tomorrow if we got anything moving. So I kind of sat down today, unfortunately, and I saw that there was nothing on the scanner. So I was looking for that breaking news at 7 a.m. We did have some breaking news at 7 a.m. I decided not to get in it because the EMA was so close. Now, it was dollar a share away at the time, but there was no volume coming in the stock. So the real only good entry was around this $4 entry. And, that did a pretty good move, but I decided not to trade it just because of the reason I didn't want to get in stock and have it flush on me, especially with a day that seems a little bit slower than yesterday. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll be back for another recap tomorrow. So hopefully that's good for you guys, and hopefully there's a lot more momentum that we can trade and I can talk about. But we'll see from here. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.